Well, let's look at some of these trends then. So the first trend we've seen is the rise of social media communities. And while social media communities are not something new, they are definitely becoming more and more popular than they ever were before. And what they are social groups that are created by brands or individuals to provide a platform for networking. And they're usually private, and where like-minded people can talk about and discuss shared interests. Maybe some of the reasons are, like, a lot of brands out there have large social media followings, and yet maybe when you dig down into their individual posts, their engagement levels just aren't where their followers are. So millions of followers or thousands of followers, but yet have a low conversion or engagement rate. But those brands that are seeing more engagement now are the ones that are building communities around their content. And I suppose sharing posts that you believe your target audience will engage with or will enjoy is part of maintaining your social media presence. But you do need to encourage and cultivate these interactions, that are a bit more complex than a simple like or a simple share. And that's where, according to Neil Schaefer, who's one of the leading global educators in social media strategy on businesses, he says that the days of merely posting content and people showing up to engage with it are slowly coming to an end. And one of the reasons is he thinks pay to play social media is becoming more and more prevalent with each social media network over time. And that's why it'll become more important than ever to actually engage with your community and build a community online, because this organic reach is dwindling and you have to pay more and so on. And that's his take on it. We've also seen Facebook heavily invest in Facebook groups. They've added the Facebook group tab front and center on the app. They've made it easy to view your group feed alongside your news feed and marketplace and other places. They've also made it extremely easy to create a group and join a group. And communities in their nature are effective because they offer the essence of what social media is designed for, and that's connection. And this notion of communities has really come to prominence a couple of years ago when Mark Zuckerberg vowed to fix Facebook. Showed that platforms like Facebook can have a negative impact on mood. Users feeling that they've maybe wasted a lot of time spending hours scrolling down their news feeds, and also seeing posts that made them feel bad or are not adequate enough. And that's why groups came to prominence, because he designed it, or Facebook designed it, where it was a place where you would see only content that you wanted to see of groups that you were belonging to. So like whether it was sports groups or cooking groups or local community groups, and so less fake news and more tailored content to what you actually wanted to see. So should you create a social media community? And I suppose you might be thinking, I don't think all my customers are going to join a Facebook group that I set up, or a social media community that I set up and start talking about my business and about maybe how great we are, or worse still, maybe how bad we are. And there are some big brands that can do that because they've thousands and thousands or even millions of customers, and they will be able to do that. But as a small business here in Northern Ireland, you maybe have to think outside the box a little. You need to think about what all your customers maybe have in common, what problems do they have, what value you create, and see if you can maybe create a group around that. For example, a solicitor's practice. A lot of solicitors practices, a lot of their business involves conveyancing, dealing with the sale and purchase of homes or property. And could they look at creating a group in Northern Ireland around first time buyers, or tips and secrets about the best ways to maybe get a mortgage, or the things to consider whenever you're buying your first home. And they could offer insights in that group as to how to apply for the mortgage and the process that they can expect. They can also put a little bit of self-promotion in there too, and case studies as how they've helped various people buy homes, and that in turn builds credibility for them, and makes people maybe choose to go to their practice to buy a home or so on. And that's a fairly logical and effective way, I think, to engage customers and potential customers. So a little bit outside the box. So it doesn't have to be your brand, but your brand could be facilitating that community. So if you do decide to create this social media community, here's our few tips. So obviously you need to decide which platform to create the community on. And the two main ones are Facebook and LinkedIn, really. And you do have other options for online communities. For example, you can create app communities and website communities and forum communities, but we'll just deal with the social media ones for now. But yeah, you've Facebook and LinkedIn generally for groups. And what you need to do is create content in that group that gets your users talking, obviously, and encourages conversations. Um, Content that's helpful, content that's valuable, and content that's of real interest, that's going to really cultivate that feeling of community. And one thing is that if you do set up a community, it needs to be monitored. Um, you need to monitor questions. People are going to be sending you requests to post questions. You need to set an element of rules and what you can and can't do, maybe no selling or no inappropriate content, no inappropriate language. You do need to monitor that. So that's where it might be useful to have a number of admins. I was talking to a business consultant there a few months ago, and they had created, as soon as sort of COVID-19 hit and lockdown hit, and they created a Facebook group to help deal with business support, funding and areas of support and so on. And the person that created it was absolutely inundated for the first couple of weeks dealing with issues and posts and things like that, to the point that they had to get 4 other admins in to help manage it. But that has actually worked in her favor, because obviously she's been telling people about her journey and the businesses that she's helped. So it's helped position her as an expert in the business consultancy and business community. But it does, obviously, you do need to listen and respond and in a timely fashion too. And what it has helped her do is humanize her brand, and she hasn't made it all about her business. She's made it all about helping other businesses too. So some few tips there to help create a social media community. One example of a brand that has created a brilliant social media community is Peloton. And Peloton sell at-home gym equipment, but they have a sort of an extra add-on whereby they have a smartphone or a tablet connected to each exercise bike or treadmill, which only is connected to the Peloton network, where they can look at a library of videos, or they can live stream workouts and things, and participate in live workouts and so on. So it's a really sort of unique, innovative product. But what they have also coupled that with is these social media communities. They have a UK community, but they also have a USA community where they're actually based, which has a huge following, and it's where their customers and potential customers can connect with each other. And other digital members, and keep up to date on the latest Peloton announcements and features. So they have actually created that, and it's worked really well in their favor.